Love of Fasting is what it is called. Oh, here we go. We're being live streamed. Okay. So for the Love of Fasting starts on Sunday. I wanted to give you guys a heads up because I know Sunday is Super Bowl Sunday here in the States, and people were like, do not restrict my food on Super Bowl Sunday. I'm going to give you guys a big tip on this. Use that as a education on what we do in our group is metabolic confusion. So on the weekends during this intermittent fasting, we're actually not going to have anybody intermittent fast on the weekend. Okay. So the weekends are going, this is how we keep our metabolism in gear. This was taught to us by Dr. Jacob.
Yeah, we do.
Hold on, I'm meeting people. All right. We love you, Liam. So don't stress about Super Bowl Sunday. I would also, if I were you all and I wanted to provide a ton of value for these people, I would go find some really awesome low carb hors d'oeuvre ideas, appetizers. Like one of my favorites is a buffalo cauliflower, which is amazing. It's really, really good. Those are just extra things that you can do to add value. I was listening to a leader in the industry the other day who's doing a podcast, and he's like, 2023 is going to be about who is creating the most value for their customers. And the customers who become promoters in your business are becoming promoters because they have witnessed you add so much value that they are like, that's the person I want to lock arms with. Does that make sense? This is a year of added value. So Super Bowl Sunday, I get it. We're starting for the Love of Fasting on Super Bowl Sunday. People are freaking out. Just say, hey, life is real. Like, this is real life. We're not here to teach you a one and done. We're here to teach you how to navigate through these things. So I just wanted to throw that out there real quick. How many of you saw the Pulse and that there's a big old sale today? Love it. So keep in mind that that sale, which by the way, how freaking cute is that shaker bottle? Why do I not already have the bottle? I know I've already seen, right? I've already seen several people posting that shaker bottle. It is so cute. So we want to make sure that we are reaching out to people individually, not just posting on our social media flyer. That doesn't work. That does not create conversation, right? It is reaching out to our customers. It is taking advantage of it ourselves, because I know that y'all want that $5 shaker bottle. I don't think I've ever seen Prove It do a $5 shaker bottle. Anybody? I don't recall that ever happening before. So taking advantage of it, making sure that you do understand that those are the only flavors. What you see on the flyer, these are the flavors that are part of the sale. It's not store-wide. Everybody got that? It is not a store-wide sale. It is just what's here on the flyer. So I make sure everyone understands that. So I know many of you have done this before, but when there's a sale, it's reaching out to our current customers. It's reaching out to people who have trial packs. It's grabbing it ourselves. It's creating curiosity in our stories. It is creating curiosity on our social media. It is not just posting the flyer with a link. Everybody got that? Can we all commit to that? Okay, because we are marketers. Awesome. One other tip I'm going to give you, and then I'm going to throw this to some amazing women who have some very specific action steps and tips to give you to really like close this down for this challenge group, to like really like solidify it and make sure that everyone's in that wants in before Sunday. But the last thing I'm going to say, we've got this 28% off sale. Each one of us on this call, we own our own business. So as a business owner, I'm thinking to myself, it's Valentine's Day. What can I offer to people for Valentine's Day? Prove It is offering something. What can I offer? So I went into my Prove It pantry that I literally need a separate insurance policy on. Anybody else feel like you need an insurance policy on your ketones? Like if your house burnt down, God forbid, thousands. Like It'd be so bad. I need like what I have on my rings, I need on my pantry. But I went in there and I was like, okay, what do I have in excess? What do I have in excess of? What did I pay for those? What's my pain point? Because I tell the team all the time, know your numbers. Know your numbers. What did I pay for these 3 boxes of the orange Mexican ketones? Okay, I can take those and do a 3-pack because a lot of my customers have never tried the Mexican ketones. I can take those and I can do a little 3-pack sale of those. Does that make sense? I can do a little 3-pack sale on these. I also went through and I thought, okay, I've had a whole bunch of people that needed to trade. They did not like Fueled by Female. So I had to trade a bunch of stuff and I've got like a couple boxes of Fueled by Female. So I'm doing a special sale on 5 packs of Fueled by Female. I'm doing a special sale on this because it's got a Fueled by Female and a Black Label and some that I had extras. I'm doing a sale on a caffeine-free pack. And then I'm putting it out there and I'm sending it to my customers and advertising it on my page that I'm doing a Valentine's Day special sample pack. Does that make sense? Be your own boss, look at your product and move it. Your ketones were never meant to sit on a shelf. Okay? That is not what they were created to sit on a shelf. They were created to get out into the market and down people's esophaguses. Esophagus. I'm not sure. Okay, so that was my last just tip before we get into this for the love of fasting. I am first going to have Miss Shannon Elliott. Shannon, you on?
I am. Hello, everyone.
Hello. Hey,
Hello.
share your tip. I'd love to hear it.
So, if for those of you that don't know me, I'm Shannon Elliott. I am from South Carolina. I've been drinking and sharing ketones for almost 2 years now. Super exciting. So my tip would be, I always do the fasting challenge with my people and do an accountability chat. So I create a chat, put all the people that are doing the intermittent fasting with me, and in the chat, I ask them, how's your day going? What flavors are you drinking? Like what Keto Pro is the best? Anything like that, just holding each other accountable and just being there for support is the main thing, because we want to support our people and we don't want them to get frustrated. So I know personally, I drink my ketones, drink the Keto Pro, and I'm good to go.
I love it. So just quick question, just for clarity. Do y'all like that? Like, again, you remember what I said?
No, 100%. I love yeah.
20 and
No, we just
23 is going to be about who's adding the most value. Shannon is adding so much value to her customers by doing this with them in this private chat. So like, Shannon, what are some of the things that you might post in that group chat daily?
Some of the things I post, of course, what flavors are my favorite. And then I also post like what I'm eating, just like snack ideas, for the noon, breaking our fast at noon. I primarily do like mozzarella cheese sticks with pepperoni wrapped around them, or just some nuts. To be honest, the Keto Pro really fills me up. I do share how I drink that. I'm not like everyone else. I personally do not like the Keto Pro in just water. So how I do that, and I share this with my people, I take about 8 ounces of water, ice, put the Keto Pro in, and then I use about 1 inch of heavy whipping cream. I put it in the blender and it tastes absolutely like a milkshake. I really feel like I'm cheating. And by the time I'm done with it, I'm so super full that I don't want to eat anything else.
You guys love that? Because she's adding value. Plus, not only is she adding value, she's being super relatable. She's not coming across to her people, her customers, as if she's an expert. She's coming across to them as, hey, I'm doing this with you. I'm just like you. Okay. I'm just going to share with you the last 5 promoters that have joined my personal business have all come from challenges like this through what we're getting ready to do, because they're like, oh, she's like me. As soon as someone says that, they can see themselves doing what you're doing. Does that sound good? Everybody, thank you, Shannon. That was awesome. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. Thank you for letting me share.
Oh, anytime, girl, anytime. Okay, there is no special like qualification. We are a big, huge team. I love it. Okay, next I'm gonna call on Crystal Crompton. Crystal, are you there?
I am. I'm here.
Okay, so Crystal's gonna share a little bit on this last push of how she is attracting people to the conversation and what she's listening for to know who to reach out to and what she's saying to them. So Crystal, can you share a little bit?
I can. I'm Crystal Crompton. I'm from upstate South Carolina. Basically, I specifically know people that have hit a plateau, or they're saying I'm having trouble with weight loss. Like they've reached out to me, whether it be in regards to being a current customer or the trial or the sample packs, and have said, "Hey, I'm hitting a plateau. I don't know what else to do." So I text and I actually message them personally, and just say, "Hey, we're starting an intermittent fasting on the 12th or whatever day we're starting." Several people on our team have seen results on hitting or getting over this plateau and losing inches. I wanted to see if you wanted to join me in this intermittent fasting, and just ask them if they were would be interested in doing that to get over the plateau or the weight loss.
I love this, you all, for one very specific reason. And this is why Crystal has such a tight group of customers, because she listens to them, right? She knows what customers of hers have hit plateaus because she has conversations with them. She didn't just sign them up and just like, okay, on to the next new person. She's having conversations and she knows where they're at. And to me, that's one of the best qualities of a leader, Crystal, is that you are listening to people more than you are talking to them. So when she's listening to them and they've told her plateau, I'm having a hard time, she can then offer them a solution to the problem that they have. Does that make sense, you all? So truly like audit yourself and your conversations with the customers that you have. If you go to your customer conversation, are you messaging them just when there's a sale? Are you messaging them just when there's like, something specific coming from Prove It? Or are your messages and your conversations with your customers more like back and forth, asking, having real conversation? That makes sense, you guys? So who do you know that has hit plateaus? You can also search your messages. Don't ask me how to do that right now. Karen probably knows because she's like so good at this. But you can search messages for the word plateau. A lot of people will use the word plateau in a message and search for that. Find those people who have said that, because I think this is the best plateau buster that I've seen so far. Thank you, Crystal. I appreciate you coming on and sharing.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to get to a couple more advanced tips here, and I'm going to have, she's putting on her makeup. She looks so lovely. I'm going to have Sarah come on, and she's got some really cool stuff to share with you all about creating that last ditch reel to like, well, this is cool. It's a reel and we're going to reel them in. Right, Sarah? Okay. Sorry. That was a horrible analogy. Okay, girl, I'm going to throw it to you.
I feel like that was a really good dad joke. It was adorable. Hey guys, I'm Sarah Keene. If you don't know who I am, I've been drinking ketones for 5 years come March. If I make it to March, I'm taking it one day at a time. So I'm actually filling in for another one of the promoters on the team who called me at the last second. And I was like, yep, I will definitely do it without a problem. So I'm going to go to my notes from her because I don't want to botch this completely, but Kate is talking to you guys about doing reels. And I know that for me, I'm really heavy on doing TikToks versus reels, but you can actually do both of these. That's the beauty of this business. So I'm going to go ahead and get into the idea. I'm going to read it, so don't judge me. So one last push to get people to the challenge with a real idea. There's going to be a sound that I'm going to share with you guys in the comments. And then the wording is going to be intermittent fasting doesn't have to be hard. And then it's going to transition into a second clip. And the second clip is going to be, I'm starting an intermittent fasting challenge on February 12th. Who wants to do it with me? So do you guys know that song where it's like, Da, 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 da. I know you know what song I'm talking about, right? It's so hard. Can we skip to the good part? That song. So that's how you're going to be doing this. For the first part, you're going to be doing intermittent fasting. Doesn't have to be hard. The second clip, when you snap or do a transition, it's going to be, I'm starting an intermittent fasting challenge on February 12th. Who wants to do it with me? So I will post all of that in the comment section of Zoom.
And what we're going to do, y'all, with this, Sarah's absolutely right. I actually create in TikTok and then just repurpose it in all my reels. So however you do it is fine. But I think what we're going to do is see if Luis can pulse this out for Dustin so you all can grab that sound and use it. And it's just that last minute push to get it. And I think what Sarah said for the language is amazing. Intermittent fasting doesn't have to be hard because that's a pain point. So she's starting it with a pain point and then she's ending it with the solution, which is super smart marketing, right? Not smart marketing is starting with the solution because no one even knows that they need it at that point when it first comes up. So you always want to start with the problem and then end with the solution. So I love that. Anything else, Sarah, that you want to say? Because I know we're going to be pulling something out for people to look at.
I would definitely recommend, so this like my point right here is creating the hashtags and tell people where to go, tell people what to do, give a short, sweet, simple call to action in the description. It only gives you like, I don't know, 50 words or 50 letters or something. Do something very quick that explains what your video is, and then go and look for 3 hashtags that are in the millions, 3 hashtags that are in the billions, and then 3 hashtags that are in the thousands. Have 9 hashtags where it focuses on exactly what it is that you're talking about. So that way when people go and look, they know what you're talking about. They're not just like, what is this girl doing? She's so weird. So that's what I would do with hashtags and the caption.
And then with your call to action, do you think that they should put the call to action in the video, like comment fast for more information? Like, what do you think they should do for the call to action on that?
So what I've been doing, I'll put something very small, either in the bottom corner or top corner, and I'll say, click follow and comment fasting. And I'll kind of simplify the word follow and fasting so that TikTok doesn't catch on. So like for follow, I'll put FOLLW instead of OW. And then for me, when I go to explain what the video is in the actual caption, I'll put or click link in bio for my group, or VIP group bio, or find me on Facebook.
Okay. So that call to action is super important because you want to have a conversation with these people. Like, this is a time situation, like it starts on Sunday. So I think having that call to action of like comment fast or something like that so that you can immediately start a conversation. And by the way, your first conversation with them should not be, awesome, here's the option to purchase and let me know after you, like, ooh, icky. No, your first conversation should be like, hey, Sarah, thanks so much for commenting. I love intermittent fasting. Are you already doing it? How's it going? Y'all understand? Like, how's your intermittent fasting life going so far? But you want to be like a human that people like know, like, and trust, right? Okay. Thank you, Miss Sarah. And we'll be sending out more information on the Pulse with that. Appreciate you, girl. Next person I'm going to have unmute. She's actually going to be sharing her screen as she's going over this, is Karen Pettit, who is the story queen, at least on our team. Like, I'm like, I don't even know what you're doing. You're blowing me away. And I feel super inadequate. I have a story envy. Okay, Karen, can you come unmute?
Hi, everybody. If you don't know me, my name is Karen Pettit. I've been drinking ketones for sharing and drinking ketones for 5 years, and I'm from West Virginia. So my tip for you is I have been really bringing on a lot more engagement with my stories. It's been, and I'm doing that by using stickers. And I don't know if anybody on here started using the tip that I think Jesse Lead said it first, about ask a question and you can actually ask yourself the question and use that as a sticker. This is sort of an extension of that little tip, because I don't know if this is going to be great for somebody who's brand new. Maybe you're not getting a lot of engagement on your posts or in your stories or anywhere. My tip is to be your biggest fan, be your own biggest fan. So in order to do this, you can by doing this, you can make it look like so many people are engaging with you, asking you questions, and it's like psychological. When people see that happening, they want to ask you more questions. They want to talk to you. And I'm getting so many more people in my direct messages and commenting on things. And I'm going to show you how I'm doing this. So you can either have a second account, or you can ask your spouse or your child, somebody else who can look at your account. They can look at your account and do this for you, or if you have a second account, you can do this yourself. So I'm going to share my screen real quick, but let me look at my notes real quick, because I get super nervous and I'm looking at all your faces. So hang on a second.
Don't look at our faces, Karen.
I know. How do I not do that?
I mean, I'm looking at them and they are very scary people. I mean, Norma scares me. Look, Liv with the smile all the time. Like, I don't know, she scares me too.
That's too funny. But while Karen's looking for her notes, just a quick, you don't have to have a second account. You can actually answer the question yourself and nobody would ever know.
Yeah, I think that's what she was saying. It's like, that was the Jessie Lee training, was like pop up the question and then you can go in and answer it. Karen's going to show you just another option for that it's a little different. But yeah, that's
okay. So yeah, you're not always going to have that sticker on every slide of your stories. So for example, I had a video of me talking about something out in my living room and I had a painting behind me. And obviously I wouldn't have an Ask Me sticker about that, but somebody commented and said something like, am I the only person who wants to see that painting that's behind you? And so I took that, I screenshot the question or the comment, and I use it as a sticker. But if you don't have people commenting, doing that, that was actually a person that did that for me. They asked that question. But if you're not getting that, you can go into your account, look at your account from somebody else's, it's like say your spouse or your child, and comment that, say that same thing, screenshot it and put it in your stories. And you want to think about things that you wish people were asking you. Like if you're talking about anything, like you're drinking ketones or whatever, you want to think of questions that people might ask you. I'm doing this for product. I'm doing it for just my life, of things that go on in my life. People ask me about my dogs. But if I'm getting low engagement, I'll do that myself. I'll go in there and be my biggest fan. Oh my goodness, your dogs are beautiful. Tell me more. What are their names? I mean, because people see that and they are going to be more likely to engage. And that's what social media is. Social media is engagement. And that's where the algorithm is going to start pushing your stuff out way more if they see a lot of engagement. So I'm going to share my screen and stop talking for a minute.
Hey, Karen, while you're doing that, while you're sharing your screen, when you say comment, do you mean like swipe up and comment on the story? Is that what you mean? Or where do you mean they put the comment?
So you can do it anywhere, basically, if it's in private message, or, well, I can show you, I'm going to show you some examples here. But so like for me, I have a second account on my Facebook and on my Instagram. So I'll go into my second account and go to my main account, and I will go into private messages, and I'll type out a bunch of comments or a top of some questions that I'm hoping that people ask me or wanting, thinking that might be something interesting to put in my stories. And I will screenshot that and use them as stickers. So this first example is the one I was telling you a little bit about. This person asked me about the painting. So then I used it as a sticker and I went out and I gave them a real video of showing them that painting. The second one is my question. I asked myself that question and I just used my second account and went into my main account and asked this question because I talked about, it was just a time lapse of me putting Mitoplex in my ketones. And I said, can't forget my power electrolytes or something along those lines. So I said, somebody asking me what is power electrolytes. And then I went in and I answered the question and told them a little bit about Mito. So that's one way you can do it. You can do it in private messages, or you can respond right, like in this one, you can respond to the message bar that is at the bottom of your stories. And then it'll pop up like this in your DMs, and you can screenshot this whole thing. Now, this was actually a real person. So I did leave the little profile picture there, but you don't have to. You can crop it out. If it was you that messaged that, you can just crop all that out, put it on there and use it as a sticker. And then this one was actually, now this is a great tip because I don't get a whole lot of these on my posts because I just don't. Like, my engagement's low. Like, I have a lot of followers, but these algorithms change all the time and sometimes my engagement's really low. So I went and grabbed this comment from the Drink Ketones chat or the Drink Ketones Daily group. There are so many of these in there right now because they've been doing the iFast and they're asking people what their experiences are. So I went and grabbed this and used it, and it looks like somebody commented that to me. So, I mean, this has doubled my engagement and I absolutely love, and it's building like your stories, or you can build your stories upon stories. Like, I'll make it like a DMO of me going like at night. I'll go back in from my other account, look at my stories from today and ask all my questions that I want to answer tomorrow. So it's just building upon what I've already done. So, and then I always like to highlight the person if they've asked me a question and encourage them to discuss more in private message or whatever. Because you're actually, if a real person is asking, you're going to answer them in their DMs, but you're also going to use it for your stories too. And it just helps people get to know you better. I think that stories is like the second best place for people to get to know you and get to feel who you are besides going live. So stories is really a place where I just I just show who I am in there. So my engagement has doubled. I'm getting a lot more people watching my stories because I think the algorithm sees that people are commenting and things like that. So I don't know. That's my tip.
I love it. Thank you. So that was an amazing tip just in general. And what I want you guys to make, like that last little portion, as far as how it affects this February challenge, is utilizing people's testimonials. They don't have to be your customers. Like that was so genius. I never thought about that. Anybody else think about that? I never thought about that. Going to the Drink Ketones Daily group and finding where people have commented like their results or what they're feeling and experiencing that, and then putting it in your stories. That's huge. I love that. That was a huge tip. And then another thing that you could do is she could have taken that same comment, posted it down here, and then gone live, done the hands-free video option and gone live explaining what it is. Okay. I'm also, last tip for you guys, again, with stories. Stories is, to me, the place where product rules. I sell in stories. I do not sell on my posts, but in stories I do. And so you can grab, look, y'all need one of these, okay? Please go get one of these. All right. Because this is such a tool. I will never actually use anything in this pack myself because this is my business builder pack. Yes. And it would be amazing if you opened it up in your stories, did a video where you're opening it up, you're pouring it out, and then you're saying, okay, guys, I'm going to take you through one day of the IFAST. Let me show you how this works. I'm going to tell you how I do it. Okay, because people are getting amazing results. Like we had a person on our team lose 9 inches in 5 days. Crazy. Okay, so first thing, this is actually not a full tip. First, because I don't have my ketones. First thing we're going to do in the morning is we're going to take our AM Signal OS and like literally take them through this kit in your story. That makes sense? And then guess what? Use Karen's tip and say, what are those electrolytes again? And then you can do a whole nother video. Say, okay, somebody did not quite understand the electrolytes. Let me explain these a little bit better because these are like not your mama's electrolytes. And do you see how Karen said, this is the second best way for people to get to know and like and trust you is because you are you, right? That's why lives are so powerful because they get to know who you are. In stories, when it's not always that static post, but it's actually you opening up and talking, so powerful. And I love to see them. Personally, I love to watch them. So does anybody, I know that was a lot, that was a little bit more advanced at the end, which by the way, Karen never thinks her stuff is advanced because it's everything, all that stuff comes easy to her. And I'm always like, literally, I'm like, what? What was that? So thank you so much, Karen. And look, y'all, she was nervous. Give her some love. She gets so nervous. I mean, I understand because y'all are some mean, scary people. Does anybody have any questions or need some clarity?
I do.
Go, Crystal.
When you say sticker, Karen, like what exactly is a sticker? I mean, I'm not actually seeing it. So I don't know.
A great question.
So yes, it is a great question because I don't even know if Facebook has the sticker option. It has to be an IG, Instagram. So when you pull up the little box, where does it say? Let me see. So the little face at the top, you click on that. There is like, for me, it's the 4th option down. It's just a thing. And then you can click on it and anything in your story or in your camera roll, you can use as a sticker.
Oh, okay.
I don't see it. I don't see it.
Yeah, it's just like,
You're good.
you don't see this.
No, show me on.
Okay, so, all right. So right here is the little face button on the top of your.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so it's number 4 on my option. It's right here, but it's not called anything. It's just a circle, and you can see that it has like a little picture.
This little thing.
No, scroll down.
Do I not have it?
Wait. I think I saw it. It
I
should
see it.
have the last picture. Yeah, it should have the last picture that's in your camera roll.
I did not know that. I did not.
Yeah, so
That. Look at
yeah,
Carol.
so you
my person.
so you can screenshot all of those little comments, just crop them down to just the comment, have those in your camera roll, and when you go to do your story, you can use those and as a sticker.
Don't get that. Did you find it, Crystal? You'll find it right here. Mine will look different because it uses your last picture. So it's whatever last photo you have on your thing. John's got it. Okay. That was a great question, Crystal. That was a question. Dustin must not be listening or he would have unmuted and said, what?
No, I'm actually listening, and I kind of knew what it was, so I wasn't that confused. But then that was a really good explanation because the reality is most people are like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah, I've never used that before. I would have done a back way of doing it where I would have copied the picture and then pasted it into the text and had it. So I didn't know. That's awesome. Any other questions or anyone else need clarity? That was a lot. We had you've got a wide range of activities, but I'm going to tell you a few. I'm just going to recap it very quickly. The things that for moving forward, moving you forward towards this February challenge, this last push, because it starts on Sunday. What I would also tell people, it starts on Sunday. If you order today and you don't get your product on Sunday, that's okay. Just start whenever you get yours. If they don't have it by Sunday and Monday, that's okay. That's okay. They can start whenever they want, right? But number one, it was having that group chat so that you can be communicating, be relatable, be sharing how you're mixing it up, encouraging other people to share what they're eating, all of that group chat. Messaging people that you know have specifically hit plateaus and people that are very determined to have some fat loss and some inches gone. It's reaching out to those people. Then it is the TikTok and reel of is intermittent fast. Do you find intermittent fasting hard, or intermittent fasting does not have to be hard? Using the sound, let's get to the good part with a call to action of comment fast. And we'll be pulsing that out so you guys can see that. You can use that sound if it's something that you want to do, if you are a short form video creator. And then Karen's tips of using stories to create engagement. And she is the one doing it. And I just want to go back to how genius it was to go to the Drink Ketones Challenge group and find what people are saying. Because in there, people they want to just tell you all the goodies. All the goodies. Look what happened to me. Look what I did. Oh my gosh, I love this. I was able to do this now. And I think that's super, super valuable. Everybody find value? Okay, let's again back to the sale. Let's go crush that sale. Let's make sure that people know about it, and that $5 shaker bottle. I know y'all are going to go get it yourself, which is super important. Dustin, anything else you want to share before we hop off?
Absolutely not. Game on, y'all. Let's have fun today. And anyway, I actually do, but I'm not going to get into it right now. So I'm just excited. Very, very excited. There's a lot of cool things coming. We're talking about, a lot more around the opportunity. So you're going to see over the next month or two, you're going to see a lot more opportunities. Like, how do we increase the opportunity thing? And part of it is just us increasing our awareness that we need to talk about it. And it's funny because I'm in 400 chats of a lot of stuff, and people that have been in for 8 years that have made lots of money on and prove it, and then people that are relatively new. The one thing I'll say is that if you want to bring in promoters and you want to start having promoter conversations, you got to start having promoter conversations to yourself. It's like you talk about what you talk about, right? Meaning that if you just had a baby and it's like, and you ever met somebody that just had a baby, but you didn't have a baby yet, and all they talk about is their baby, and you're kind of like, can we talk about what we used to talk about? Does that make sense? Like all I talk about is my kids, because they're all around me. That's my new life, right? If I want to build a business, we got to find ways to talk about it. So if you can't talk about it to your friends and your coworkers and everything else, you got to talk about with your teammates. So my encouragement and challenge to everybody out here that is on this Zoom, if you really want to start attracting promoters, let's make these Zooms even about that. Not that you can even say, hey, my name is Liz. I want to make, an extra $5,000 a month so I can travel in an RV across the country. Right. And here's my tip about how to share on social media. So I want to encourage all of us team leaders. I want you to think about this too. It's how do we start having that just in the front of your brain versus, you ever notice that the business is in the back of the brain, right? Even think about it and I love our curiosity, right? The iFast is a curiosity thing. The ketones are curiosity. The what Karen gave, that really cool tip about the comment, that's a way to create conversations, right? But the challenge is if your business opportunity is hidden in the back corner of your brain, you're going to talk about everything that's in the front. That's not actually really how the brain works, but I'm just, you get what I'm putting down here, right? Is that how you say that, Kate? Are you smelling what I'm putting down?
That's what I stepped in.
Smelling what I stepped in. So what we want to do is we got to start moving this to the front, if that makes sense. If you're only talking about fasting or your weight loss story, well, guess what? The little business one is just a little teeny tip right back there. The only reason that's going to come out if somebody says, hey, can I make money doing this? True story. I actually had a lady. She was so into our product because the product transformed their entire family's life. Like a story that some of you maybe know it, but it make you sob. Like it's one of the craziest stories. It was one of the first 9 months of Prove It. And it just changed the whole company when the story came out. She was so hung on the product. She hit rank 6 in literally no time. Like during Christmas, she had 24 people in the room. Like it was crazy. Her story was so remarkable. A lady came and all the lady wanted to do was retire. She didn't care about the product. She didn't care anything about ketones. She needed the ketones, but she didn't care. And this promoter of mine had said, well, listen, you got to at least use the product for 30, 60 days before you can to do the business. She literally said that to her. I'm like, wait a second, stop. But my point is that was just a really clear realization. So as you take these tips today, this is my challenge for everybody as you're going through the day. And I promise you, if you don't do this, you're not going to bring on promoters faster. I'm going to challenge everybody on here today. You guys all ready for a little challenge? You guys like this when I just make shit up and then it just comes out? I'm in a lot of chats and I get huffy on them. Like it's funny. Like I'm in a lot of like the big chats, like the leadership chats. And so here's my challenge today. At least 10 times today, and I would encourage you 10 times for the rest of the month, is I want you to tell why you're doing the business. Tell somebody. I don't care right now, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you voice memo me. It doesn't matter if you voice memo Kate or Norma. It doesn't matter if you hit John up or Liz or Carol. It doesn't matter, but just talk about it. Why are you really doing this? What is your goal? What is something you want? It doesn't matter, but I want you to wear it so much that it just starts to become part of your conversation. If that makes any sense. I ask people all the time, why do you love Prove It so much? And they never talk about anything that really would attract somebody to the business. Ever. Like it just doesn't come out of our mouth. And part of that's our culture. Part of that, we created that with Prove It, but we just have to bring a little bit back, 30%, right? Can we get 30% of that in the front of your brain? Like, I don't mind it being like community product, Prove It's amazing. And then here's the money opportunity as a small part of it. That's cool. But we got to start practicing that. And I promise you, this is what will pay off in the summer. So this is going to take a muscle to build. But think about this when you first got started in Prove It. It wasn't easy for you to talk about the product or about your product story, right? And then eventually it became easy, right? You started because you were thinking about it, talking about it so much, it became easy. Now it's like, if you've been in for a couple of years, it's like, it's just a normal conversation. We need the same thing to be around the opportunity. So y'all willing to do that with me? I would say minimum today, do it 10 times today, but ideally do it 5 times every day for the rest of the month or whatever. But just create a consistency in doing that and start talking about the opportunity. And now this is what I mean by an opportunity. I just want you to start talking about what you want out of it. Not about like, hey, come join my business. That's not what I'm talking about. It's a normal conversation, right? Like I want, Karen, what's one thing you want from Prove It financially?
I want to have a cabin that we can go to for just to get away.
Awesome. John.
You said finance?
Yep. John, tell 10 people that.
We have a dog now here in Mexico, and I would love to be able to throw her with us on a private jet and not have to worry about how she's going to travel with us.
I hear you on that one. Awesome. Liz.
I don't know how you knew this, Dustin, but I do want to travel across not just Canada, but all of North America in a conversion van with Kenny.
Man, we talked about this. I listen. Come on. I listen. Norma.
I want to be able to pay cash for my home in Dubai. I'm buying.
Jason. Y'all give some love for everybody that's saying their responses.
Let me think about this. I I would say more cars comes to the top of my head, but I have 6 right now. Maybe I like the vacation house or maybe a rental property.
All right. I want you to get more clear on it. All right.
Okay.
Carol. Yep, Carol. You're not driving, are you? If you're driving, don't do it. If you got yours, unmute and just rip it.
No, I'm not driving. I'm the passenger. Here's my co-pilot or my pilot right there.
I love it.
I would love to tear. We have a year-round home in Michigan. I want to tear it down and rebuild it.
Boom,
Yeah.
boom, Barbara.
I want to be able to travel in other places besides Missouri.
Where's one place you want to go right now?
I want to go to Costa Rica.
Awesome. I'll actually be there in like 10 days. I'll send you a picture. Come with me. Crystal.
Our church is actually building a kids center and I would love to be able to pay it off for them.
Oh, how much is that?
It's quite a bit. It's over it's in the millions, but
Right.
yeah.
Let's get to work.
Yeah.
Who's gonna if like, why are you doing that pyramid scheme? Well, because I want to help pay off a charity for a church that's building a house for underprivileged kids. Like nobody's gonna look down at what, you know what I mean? Like that's just, of course. All right, Alicia.
I want to have financial freedom, and I want to be able to have my mom comfortable and a place for her. I want to also have a nice place for me, be able to travel the world more and see more places. Yeah.
Awesome. Very cool. Bobby.
I want to be able to supplement my husband's income so that he can come home and do Prove It with me and be able to pay cash for a new home.
Cool. Does he want to come home?
Yes.
Always make sure of that. I get that a lot. Women are like, I want my husband to come home. I'm like, you better make sure he wants to, because most of them, when I talk to, they don't want to. So they love what they do. They're always like, I want more time with them. So just make sure of that. Amy, we'll make this the last one. The rest of you, I want you to put it in the chat. Put it down. What is your one thing?
Sorry, I was having a hard time with the video. I would like financial to be out of debt and to share with like-minded people.
Okay. What do we need to get out of debt, Amy? I don't know you that well, so.
We talked yesterday on the phone, you and I and Kelly.
Yeah, no, I don't remember what you said. I don't remember what number you'd said. We didn't talk about that part.
I didn't offer it. It's close to 200,000. So.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. You can do that.
And
So this is what I would tell you to do right now. Amy's brand new. She literally just came in out in northern Utah. Has been all over it seems like the world. I think at least the country. Y'all give her some love. She's a brand new promoter. I just called her out for the first time. Like we literally just talked yesterday. So you're in a safe place, an amazing place, Amy. What I recommend as you're building this, like I said, there's a lot of things that we can put out there, and the tips you got today, I would start with those and some of those tips that we said yesterday. But what I would recommend is when you get started here is as you're making your income and as you're making some money, what I recommend you doing is taking at least 10%, take 10%, pay your taxes, take 10% and have some fun with it. Take 10% and put towards those bills. And then take the other 70% and use it for your expenses and to reinvest back in your business, right? So fun, bills, and your debt, right? Bills meaning your day-to-day life. Like, I don't care if it's $1. Y'all, when I first started Prove It, I refused to do a bank deposit. Refused. I would not do a bank deposit until I got to $5,000. I had to do a check. I wanted to walk in my mailbox and get a paper check, and I wanted to go to my bank and deposit it. It mattered so much to me because it became more real to me. Like, that's just me. That's how my brain works. So I don't care if you get a check for $4, literally take $1 and put it in an account so that it's going to pay off that debt. Put $1 and go do something fun with it. Put $1 towards your bills and then take the rest of it, or whatever the numbers are. If you build the habits of doing that, you will create more of what you're looking for, right? What happens when people come into our business is they may make a lot one month, less the next month, because you're going to see it's going to balance itself out over time because you have some bonuses and stuff that you can run for. And then what happens is we don't compartmentalize a little bit. So I encourage you all to do that. Even if you've been in for a while, do that. But if you're brand new, really just take it serious. And then celebrate, shake your booty, get up and celebrate the fact that you were able to, hey, your side hustle paid off some of your debt. Yeah, it was a small fraction, but it's just the beginning of the end, if that makes sense. Small steps leads to big results. Is that how it went, Carol or Liz? Small steps lead to big results. Small steps lead to big something. Anyway, Kate, thank you guys so much. Everybody else, appreciate you for sharing. Sarah, thanks for being a trooper and hopping on last minute. I appreciate that. But I want you to take this serious. Talk about it more and more and more. Talk it into existence. The more you talk about and I don't want to use the word opportunity, about what you want from the Prove It opportunity, the Prove It business, the more it will become real to you, the more that you'll find people will bring it up to you. I guarantee you, Liz, by the end of the month, if you talk about this every day for 5 days, somebody randomly at a grocery store is going to come up to you and talk about some amazing trip that they took across America. I will absolutely guarantee that's going to happen. You'll be like, are you kidding me? Barbara, if you say, hey, I want to go to Costa Rica, and you talk about it every day for the next 5-10 days, you're going to meet somebody right here that says, I'm going to Costa Rica. It'll literally appear right in front of your nose. You're going to talk it into, you already talked it into existence. I wasn't going to go. My surgeries are still figuring out my surgeries. And I booked it yesterday or 2 days ago. I booked my trip to Costa Rica for my niece's wedding. Anyway, long story short. So I'm going for a couple of days for a wedding. But anyway, BU is in Florida in a couple of weeks too. If anybody in Florida wants to potentially do something there, hit me up. But anyway, I got to go. Kate, I hope that was okay. I know I made it a little longer, but I want people to have what you want. And we got to do the little shifts, y'all. I'm just saying, and I do too, by the way.
Yeah, same. And Dustin, just to give you guys just a last minute tip, what Dustin said, like, number one, it's figuring out what you want. But y'all know that the tip that Karen gave you on like talking in your stories about asking questions and giving tips, every single one of you have a tip that you can share on how to build a business. Mm-hmm. But how often do you talk about that? I've started doing that. Like, I've started getting intentional, and it's crazy how many people are saying, what do you do? Mm-hmm. What do you do?
The other one, Kate, is think about the curiosity peaking post. How many people say, who wants more energy, focus, mood, sleep, fat loss, doing a little TikTok dance and like a little that shit doesn't work for me, by the way. I've tried those a million times and I get nada, like nothing from them. I'm like, I think I should be a woman. I don't know if it's just ladies that get it or I don't get it, right? But what would you rather do? Fly first class or a private jet? Now I'm talking to John because John and I are Lincoln. I'm telling you, once you go private, it's really hard to go back. Although you guys want to hear something really pompous that I said. Hopefully Brian doesn't see this. I'm literally flying a private jet into Colombia to get stem cells injected into my leg, which worked amazingly. And we're coming back, but my leg had swelled up so much because that's part of the response of the stem cells to heal the damage. And the private jet was a little cramped. I was sitting across from a guy who was a little bigger and I couldn't get comfortable. And I literally in my brain am sitting there thinking, man, I'd rather have flown first class and laid down in a bed than been in the private jet. I literally thought that. I was like, you jerk. I'm like, who thinks that? I actually thought that because my leg had swollen so much and it was very kind of painful. And I was like, wow, how bad is that? But think about the opportunity wise, like, what would you rather do? Go on your dream vacation or pay off your house? What would you rather do? Have a cabin in the woods or drive an RV across North America? What would you rather do? Have financial freedom or be in debt your whole life? Who here's always wanted to build their mama a house? Right? Who here, like, think about it from a curiosity peaking. That is, and here's the deal. It's like what you do after that is a conversation, right? It's just ways. I'm saying this because what I'm getting from all these texts of people, they're like, we can't talk about the opportunity. We can't talk about financial freedom. We can't talk about those things. Everything I just said, we can easily talk about. And it's piquing curiosity, just same as what you do with ketones. My favorite thing, what I get a lot of action on ketones are, it's like, what would you rather have, energy or fat loss? That one works well for me. It's either this or that. Energy, fat loss. And then I got right? So that works really well for me. That just gave me an idea. Liam, that gives me an idea on ManyChat. So remind me to say that one.
Hey, Dustin, this curiosity post I posted yesterday, it was in my stories. I'm in 10 conversations right now because of this. It says 9 to 5 burnout, 4 signs it's time to make a change. And it says like you get Sunday scaries, you constantly dream about having your own thing going on. You're jealous of someone who has a lifestyle that you want, all these little check boxes. And then I just added a poll. Do you have 9 to 5 burnout? Yep, that's me, or I'm on my way. Every single person who commented, I'm reaching out and I'm like, hey, I saw you commented on the 9 to 5 burnout. Like, what do you do? What made you comment on that?
Right.
Just curiosity, you guys.
Right. And that's kind of my point, is like, be okay with being creative on that. And this, to me, I hope you gave you some nuggets, gave you some think tanks, but my outcome for you all is to do the actions that was given today, because they work. They work if you keep getting new followers. They work if you keep building out your following, which takes time and practice. At the same time, we got to have that conversation. You're going to meet somebody in the grocery store legitimately in the next 48 hours that is going to be attracted to what you're thinking and talking about. I'm just telling you. But if you're not thinking and talk about it, if you're thinking about your knee hurting, your back hurting, hey, Michelle, you're thinking about your back hurting, you think about your knee hurting, you're thinking about these things, that thing, guess what you're going to hear? You're going to have somebody come up to you and talk about all their problems and all their knee pain. Anybody relate? So here's another, if you want to get really deep into this, throughout the day and tomorrow, I want you to keep track of what's the common theme that you heard or thought or seen today. I've been around sick people all day. Everybody has a mask on. Where's your OODA loop? Where's your mindset? Where's your focus at? Right. So those are to me are indicators. And this is how I figured that out. And I'm done after this one, is that when I go to the grocery store, and if more than 2 people or more than one person complains to me about something, it's always me. I'm like, what is going on? Now, it took me like 25 years to figure that out. So I'd always be like, what is their problem? What is their problem? And then guess what? I kept finding more people with more problems. But as soon as I realized, like, where's my shit at? And I realized I'm in my head in weird places and I'm worrying about stuff that doesn't matter and la, 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 la. So then little Joseph McClendon, clear your mind, start focusing on what you want. And guess what? Magical shit happens. So who wants magical shit to happen? I do. Amy, thank you so much for participating today. Appreciate that. And we'll talk soon. Hit me a text message when you get ready for that first post to go out, and y'all have a good day. Kate, we'll kick everybody off and just hop back onto this.
Thank you, everyone.